What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tim Sports Talk. And today we are going over the picks for the Washington Commanders 1 through 3. So we're going to go through them. I'm going to give my thoughts on them, what kind of player they could be, and what we should have done, okay? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I am not impressed with this draft. Some people are giving us a B minus. I don't know what planet we're on in this draft, but we're going to go over why I think that that's absolutely insane. So, first thing we did was trade back from pick 11 to 16. Straight up, this is the best thing we could have done. I loved this move, all right? And this is a perfect trade. We added a third, we added a fourth. We had holes to fill on this team, and this allowed us to fill some holes. And it's a deep draft, especially in the first round. We did not need to take Chris Olave at 11 or Kyle Hamilton. I know a lot of people liked them, but it's not like we needed to draft a player at 11. We could get a good guy at 16. So, our first pick was Jahan Dotson after the trade back at 16, and this is where the draft honestly goes off the rails. Now, a lot of you are going to like this pick, especially if you are a fan of Chris Olave at pick 11. If you wanted that pick, then you should actually be very pleased with Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson is basically Chris Olave light. He's another great route runner. He's got tremendous hands. A lot of people argue the best hands in the draft. He did only have 2 drops all season, so great hands. But he's, instead of being about 6 foot like Chris Olave, he's only 5'10 and a half. They don't do halves on NFL.com, but 5'10 and a half. And then he's 178 pounds. I've also seen 184, where Olave was about 187, so we're right in the same ballpark, just a little bit less in each category. He's also a 4.43 guy, where Olave was a 4.39, so a very similar 40-yard dash, 36-inch vertical. I believe Olave was right in that ballpark as well. So we basically got Chris Olave light here at pick 16, and honestly, I think he could be a very solid player for us. Okay, I think he could be a very good player for us. Problem is, the likelihood of him reaching the pick 16 potential is very, very low. Of a guy, I'm also biased. I hate first-round receivers in general, so I didn't want Chris Olave, and only reason I was talking about Garrett Wilson is because I felt like we were going to take a wide receiver in the first round, so if we were going to, I wanted Garrett Wilson, but once Garrett Wilson was off the board, I was fine if we went Kyle Hamilton. I was fine if we went a different direction, because I hate first-round receivers, and now, knowing what I know now of who was there at pick 47, it makes me even more vehemently against going wide receiver in the first round. But overall, good player. Not good value, not position of real need, because he's only 5'10 and a half. We already have Curtis Samuel. We already have De'Ami Brown. We already have Terry McLaurin, all 6 foot or under, speedy guys. Those guys are all faster except for De'Ami at 4.44. Yes, he is a better player than De'Ami, but is he that much better of a player at pick 16 than at pick number 98, De'Ami? I disagree, and I wanted a receiver with size, so to me, this doesn't even fill a need that we're looking here in Washington. So, but you can't criticize without what would you do instead, right? Oh, it's easy for you to say, but what would you have done? Well, I would have taken the guy that got taken 3 picks later, and I talked about this on my Skins in the Game. I wanted to go tackle here. Trevor Penning went to the Saints at pick number 19. This guy, 6'7", 325-pound monster. And why do I want to go offensive tackle? Some of you, not another offensive lineman. That sucks. With 1 pick, you upgrade 2 positions right off the bat. And a position of need. We needed a right guard. You get a right tackle, and you kick Cosby inside. You upgrade your right guard, upgrade your right tackle. This guy had the highest run blocking grade at tackle in the entire draft. So now talk about a right side of your line where Cosby was tremendous in the run game as well, and then you put John Bates out there. The right side of our line is going to be dangerous if we take a guy like Trevor Penning. Trevor Penning also ran a 4.89 40-yard dash, which 40-yard dash is not super important with the offensive tackles, but a 4.62 and a 7.25 is better than the 3 tackles that were taken ahead of him. You had Evan Neal, who didn't run anything, but Cross was a 7.88 three-cone drill, but he also ran a 4.61 20-yard shuttle, so basically the same in the shuttle with Charles Cross. And then also you had Iguanu, who had a worse in both. I think it was a 4.71 and a 7.5 or something like that on three-cone. So he's a better athlete than the guys that are taking him. And he was just as big. The only one bigger was Evan Neal. Again, 6'7", 6'7.5", 335 pounds. I'm not suggesting this guy's better than Neal, Cross, or Iguanu. I think he should have been the fourth tackle taken like he was, but great value at pick 16. Position of need. You fill two positions with one pick. This is the pick that I would have taken here, and I talked about it with my dad, that you could go back and look. If I wanted a tackle, I would have been ecstatic with this pick instead of Jahan Dotson. Moving on to round number 2, we have Phidarian Mathis, 6'4", 310-pound defensive tackle out of Alabama. And he had a 23.5-inch vert, not very impressive. A 109-inch broad jump, again, not very impressive. And 4.91 shuttle. We just talked about Trevor Penning at 4.62. Again, not extremely impressive. But what does this guy bring? He's very strong at the point of attack, and especially inside. He has got heavy hands like Martin Mayhew talked about. He had 9 sacks last year, so he can get after the quarterback. This guy is not necessarily a bad player. Again, similar to Jahan Dotson, I think he could give us some solid minutes. But, again, like Jahan Dotson, we did not fill a player of need. We have now gone with a wide receiver 3 and a backup interior defensive lineman. We already have Allen. We already have Payne. We already have 4 first-round picks on this defensive line. We really needed another high pick on this defensive line. I wanted to get one later if we did go D-line, or if we could go and kind of get Tulele over in free agency to get rotation out of him. We did not need to go second-round defensive tackle here. This is another reach. Let's see, what was his grade? It was a round 3 projection according to here. Some people did have him a little bit higher in the late second round, but again, I believe it's another reach and another position of not need here in round 2. Again, you can't criticize unless you have an opinion of your own, and here is the guy I would have taken, George Pickens out of Georgia. I think this is an absolute steal, and he went, again, 5 picks behind us to a team that does not miss on wide receivers. If the Pittsburgh Steelers take a receiver, you can almost book it immediately. They are going to be a stud in the league. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Antonio Brown, Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes, Matarius Bryant didn't really work out, but still, you got a guy here that is a legitimate 6'3" body. He's a little bit slim. You'd like to see him put a little bit of weight. He's coming off an ACL tear, but 4.47 yard dash, 4.47 even after an ACL tear. 33-inch vertical is not super impressive, but you have 32 3/8 arms. If you compare him to Jahan, 5'10.5", only 30 3/4 arms, so 2-inch longer arms. Yes, he has a better vertical. Yes, he has a slightly better 40-yard dash. But George Pickens is another guy that is a great route runner. Not as good as Jahan. Jahan's a better, I will admit, but George Pickens can still get separation. He's now a deep threat. He's got a guy with size. He's got great jump ball ability, but he could get wide open like the other ones instead of like Drake London that has to go up all the time because he can't get separation. You're telling me right now, seriously, this is a 6.23. Jahan is 6.25. You're telling me that I didn't get better value at pick number 47 with George Pickens, 0.02 projected here, but another big body receiver than pick 16, Jahan Dotson? You've lost your mind if you disagree with that. I don't know what to tell you. Better. I honestly think he's even a better player. He is, to me, this guy can be A.J. Green in the league, another Georgia receiver. This guy could be tremendous at the next level and a position of actual need because we needed a guy with size. Now you have a 6'3" body on one side, Terry McLaurin 6 foot on the other, and then Curtis Samuel now in your slot, and then you have Dax Milne and Cam Sims as your backup. You fix the wide receiver spot at round 2 while fixing your offensive line here. On to round 3. We take Brian Robinson Jr. out of Alabama. 6'2", 225 pounds. Guy is a mammoth here in round 3. Great player, honestly. I think he's a solid player. I guess great is probably a little overstating, but I think this is a really good running back coming out of here with some big upside, okay? He did run a 4.53. Nick Chubb ran a 4.51, I believe, or 5.2. So Nick Chubb is a guy that this guy potentially could compare to. What do they compare him to here? I'm curious. Chris Carson, another really solid running back in the league. But he also broke a ton of tackles at the college level in the SEC against Georgia, against Auburn, against other teams, LSU, whatever. In that SEC, he broke a ton of tackles. He's a strong, hard-nosed running back, and he could be a solid play for us. Again, not a desperate position of need. You already have a 6'2", 220-pound running back in Antonio Gibson. You need to teach him to freaking get his head down because he has the size to get the 3rd and 1s. He does dancing a little bit too much. If you coach him up right, you don't need a running back this early in the draft. You also have J.D. McKissick. You still have Jarrett Patterson. Yes, I would have liked a running back in this draft, but again, 6th, 7th pick. I liked Ty Chandler later. I like another guy that I can't think of off the top of my head. But either way, Ty Chandler is at least one guy I could target maybe later in this draft. Or you could go Udfa. Running backs are a dime a dozen in this league. You could even go get a free agent running back if you wanted to go ahead and spell carries from Antonio Gibson if you needed to. To me, this is a reach. And again, why do I say that? Is because there's another stud here in the 3rd round who I was mocking in the 2nd round. DMV Sports Zone Nazi also had this guy as his number 1 pick in the 2nd round. This guy, Leo Chenal, a 6'3", 250-pound linebacker. Take a look at this. Relative athletic score, 9.99 out of 10. He ranked 4th out of 2,226 linebackers since the last 35 years of keeping this stat. This guy, 4.53 40-yard dash, 40.5 vertical. This guy could have been our middle linebacker or inside linebacker with Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis, arguably our biggest position of need at the linebacker spot. And if Martin Mayhew and Ron Rivera don't think we need linebackers, I think that they need help in the head because that is clearly our weakest position. Jamin Davis struggled all last season. Do we really trust him yet? Can he be decent? Maybe, maybe not. But he's, again, only one player. Then you have Cole Holcomb. He's our only true linebacker that has a position solidified. But after that, Khaleke Hudson, he's been here for 4 or 5 years, hasn't turned into anything. David Mayo, undrafted free agent, I believe. A Carolina Panther guy, of course, that we got picked up. Our linebacker position is big time need. And this guy fell to our lap at pick number 98. Again, pick number 39. I believe we got pick number 34 here in the 3rd round at Robinson. So he was available. And I just wanted to highlight this one particular play. All right. And, you could go look for all the film. But this is the kind of guy that you could get here at this level. And why do I choose this particular play? Because this dude right here, Tyler Lindenbaum, was a 1st round pick. Arguably a top 10 talent in this draft, but fell due to the position and maybe some injury concerns. But the Ravens picked up Linderbaum. This guy is a legit All-American center at the college level, number 65. Here's our guy, Leo Chenal, number 5, ready to go head-to-head. This is goal line. Look at this, heavy backfield. We're going to do a run play here. Now, a little spoiler, he doesn't make the tackle, but watch what he does to Linderbaum, an All-American 1st round pick. I slowed it down a little bit so we can take a look. All right, right off the gate. All right, they meet head-to-head. Linderbaum was the lower man in the beginning, which you would like to see him get a little bit lower, but now we're going head-to-head. He has lost no ground so far. Here's the line of scrimmage. He stays right with it. Now watch what he does next. Look at that shed. He just threw a 1st round pick, basically threw him away like trash, and losing no ground. He is still at the line of scrimmage, then he's going to reach another guy, not giving up any ground, and he stays here, and he may have been a part of getting this fumble recovery, but he plays hard-nosed football. He goes after it. He's not, pussyfooting it with the lack of a better term, like Jamin Davis, who seems like he's stuck in mud. He's a go-getter. He's attacking. He's at the line of scrimmage. He's off the ball. Is he the best coverage guy? Not necessarily, and you would like a little bit better there. But if you coached him up with Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio, this guy in the third round could be a legitimate steal. This guy compares to Micah Parsons as far as an athlete. You could put him all over the place on defense. This guy could be a game changer. Am I guaranteeing Micah Parsons? Of course not. But that is literally who he compares to. I think Micah Parsons was like 1 out of 2,226 players. This guy's 4. Not far behind with a 9.9 relative, or 9.99 relative athletic score. So yeah, this is what we have in Washington. And this is why I disagree with everything that we've done so far. To me, this draft, I'm as high as you could go possible, if you're being objective and being honest, is a D. D. And the only reason you give him a D is because these guys can produce. So that's good. But not best player available, not position of need, not best player at their position, in my opinion. Like, you've reached at every pick, basically. Because Robinson, what was Robinson projected? Okay, so you didn't reach with Robinson. Fine, I'll give you one. You didn't reach with one, but again, not a position of need. There's 3 things that makes a good pick. Did you get best player available? Did you get position of need? Did you get position best player of the position? Right? You didn't get value with any pick. At best, you can say that you got Robinson where he was supposed to be drafted. So you didn't get any value at any pick. You never got best player available. And you never got position of need. Throughout this entire draft, people are, we need a receiver. We needed a big body receiver that could also separate. That's not Jahan. We basically just got more of what we already have. He doesn't change the offense. He doesn't make us any more interesting or dynamic. You already had Curtis. Oh, you can't trust Curtis. He had a groin injury last year. Now he has a whole off season to rest it. He got it right before training camp, and then we never gave it enough time to heal. We kept forcing him back too quick, and then he would retweak it. Now he can have all off season to heal. I have no doubt that Curtis is going to come back healthy and be a contributor on this team, barring a freak accident. That groin is not going to continue to be a problem. You got backups. Right? A backup running back, a backup D tackle, and a wide receiver 3, in my opinion. What are we doing? But hey, you guys let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, in the description below, there's a Discord link. Hop in our Discord and come talk some football. Last but not least, there are donation links in the description below. If you feel so kind, you could donate to the channel. I love this team, okay? I want this team to succeed. I don't come on here wanting to bash this team. That's not what I want to do. I would love to come on here and say we knocked it out of the park. And I have before in past drafts. But this has been an unmitigated disaster, period, other than the trade back. There is no other way to put it. This has been bad. We needed a wide receiver 2, didn't get it. We needed a linebacker, didn't get it. We needed an offensive guard or tackle to move Cosby inside. We didn't get it. You could also argue we needed a safety. Didn't get it. Argue that we needed a shutdown corner. Didn't get it. Like, you could have gone Trent McDuffie in the first round. You could have gone Devin Lloyd in the first round. You could have gone in the second round. You could have gone tight end. We need a tight end. Trey McBride was sitting there. There's so much other value at these spots of positions of actual need, not this rotational crap backups. And we didn't get it. But you guys let me know what you guys think. And until next time,